the warden's job at the walls, as in dealing with the executions, is you're basically just like you are as the warden of the rest of prison. I mean, it's your responsibility. The things that take place there are your responsibility. I felt like personally, my way of dealing with it was my responsibility to see that these executions went as smoothly as they possibly could. The first one was very difficult in more than one way. One way it was difficult for me was I had never witnessed an execution when I oversaw the first one that I did. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I mean, because all you got to go on, all I had to go on, was people telling me, well, this is what happens and then this happens. And you're trying to play a movie in your head of what this looks like, and it's just not an ideal situation. I mean, if you were doing something that didn't amount to much or wasn't very important, that's a different story, but you know, you don't want to goof this up. And so I had, in the first one, I had a lot of anxiety and worried about me a lot. And as it went on, I didn't worry about me. I mean, it was everything else and everybody else there to worry about. But that kind of, I got caught up in that on the first one. And then the other thing that sticks out in my head about your question is just the matter of dealing with an execution, of having somebody who is quite as healthy as you are, strapped down there in that gurney, and the thought hits me that, you know, in a few minutes, you're going to give a signal to an executioner who's going to end this guy's life. I mean, I was going to do that, and the guy was perfectly healthy. I mean, that's just almost unrealistic. It's definitely very unusual and different than what we know in our day-to-day lives. And so all that was, I was caught up in thinking about all of that. The first one for me was difficult like that, and then unfortunately the first one did not go smoothly. Probably one of the worst ones I dealt with the whole time I was there, as far as mechanically, medically, that we had the medical person had trouble finding a vein, and that, I know you hear that a lot out there, but that doesn't happen that often. But that one was, it wasn't the worst one I dealt with in that manner, but it was pretty bad. And then where we normally would go with a live, you put one on each arm, one's live, the other one's back up. And it took such a struggle to find the first one that myself and the medical person made a decision to go with just that one. And then when the executioner started to push the fluids through, it popped out of his arm, and we had to start all over again. So it was not a good night, you know. But I did leave there that night thinking, surely it can't get any worse than this. You know, it's got to get better. At one time, we had a period where we were doing a lot of executions, really close together, and my son expressed to his mom that he was concerned about me, because he said, you know, Dad's looking like he's kind of tired or something. And we all worried. You think it doesn't get you down like that, but it does if you do a bunch of them. And I think it's emotional. I don't think it's so much physical. But yeah, we did 1 year. It was in January, February, maybe '99. We did like I don't know, say 5 executions in 17 days or something like that. I mean, it was unbelievable. People always ask about the executions, and I say, you know, really, I think we in Texas, I'm talking about the people who do the executions, have it better than some of these other states. I said, you know, if you do one in most states, you've got months to sit and think about that execution. You don't have it here. I mean, a few more days, you're on another one, and that one's gone out of your memory. You don't dwell on it if something went wrong or if something got to you or whatever. You don't have long to dwell on it here. So in some ways, we have it better here, I guess, like that.